Christian,
Yeah.
are you ready?
Ready for what?
For anything. Ready to work, play, serve, obey, worship, live, etc.?
Yes, I am.
That is good. Today, are you ready for our next episode?
Of
To Do and a Bible. Two dudes and a Bible. And you know, this summer we are learning about extreme life. And you know, an extreme life doesn't only go up. Sometimes it goes down and back up and down and back up and around.
And just when you think you saw it all, you get that loop-de-loop.
That loop-de-loop. That's right. So I thought we should open today with an extreme ride where the kids can have a little bit of fun with us.
Yeah.
They can use their imagination with us. And we're going to go on a roller coaster today.
Awesome.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set my laptop right here in the center.
Oh, this one looks fun.
And I'm going to play a roller coaster ride for us. Now, here's the deal. You have to pretend, because, you know, it is a little hard to travel right now. Not every amusement park is open. So sometimes a digital virtual roller coaster ride is the best we can get this summer.
Yeah.
So today we're going to do a digital roller coaster ride. Kids, we'll throw the video up so you can see what we're watching as we do this ride. And we're going to go extreme.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Oh, seatbelt. There we go. I'm ready.
Okay, we're going up the hill. I'm holding up. We're going up the hill.
Oh, hands free. Hands free.
No. This is the worst part for me. I don't like heights. Here we go.
Oh, man.
Here we go. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, my God. Oh, this drop is Oh, he's losing. Oh, I thought we did a flip, but they're on top. Whoa, that was weird. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Oh.
Okay, down. Here we go. Okay, we're turning. Oh man. You gotta keep your hands up on the roller coaster. Here we go.
All the way to the end.
Oh.
Right there. There we stop.
No, we're not.
I thought we were done. Oh,
Here we go. Are we done?
No.
Please be done. At least this one doesn't have
Whoa.
Loop-de-loops make me nauseous. Oh, man, here we go.
Okay, here we're coming to the top. We're coming to the top. And
we made it.
I thought we were about done on that last part.
I did too.
Nice.
So I'm going to close that. That was our roller coaster ride. You know, and today we're learning about living life with Jesus, right? Living a life with God. God calls us to a life with Him.
Right.
And a life with God doesn't mean things are always going to be amazing, but it does mean God is always with us.
That's right. Anywhere we go, He's there. He rides with us.
That's right. Okay. Well, let's keep going on our show today.
Let's do this.
In today's Big God story, we get to see a journey that Paul went on. Paul, he decided that he was going to go to Rome. But this trip was an exciting trip and didn't really go how most people would have expected. But really, I think I need some help telling today's Big God story. So I'm going to say a word and see if it brings one of our favorite guest stars. So let's try this out. Bacon.
Did I hear bacon?
You heard bacon. Hey,
Bacon!
Sonny.
I love bacon! Oh, the bacon! Bacon!
Hey, Sonny, thanks for joining us
Where's
today.
the bacon?
I don't have any bacon. I just knew that would get you here.
No bacon?
No bacon. And there's no bacon in today's story either. So,
Okay.
Sonny, can you help us tell the Big God story today?
I love helping out.
Okay, so our Big God story today is found in Acts chapter 23 through chapter 28.
Forgot the dot dots.
There is no dot dots. It's Acts chapter 23 through chapter 28.
Oh.
It's not Acts 23, 1 through 28. No, it's 5 chapters.
5 chapters?
Yeah, it's an exciting story right now where Paul goes on a journey. So our
A man with 2 names.
well, he just has one name now. Paul.
Just Paul.
Just Paul.
Just Paul.
Just Paul.
Not Saul.
Not Saul.
Just Paul.
Correct.
Got it.
So he starts today, and our story starts today on an exciting trip to Rome.
I love Rome.
Yep, Rome was a big deal. It was the capital of the Roman Empire, and it was just the place to be.
It's a fun place to be, that's for sure.
Yeah. So Paul's trip, though, it is going to be a little bit like the roller coaster we talked about at the beginning.
Oh,
of
I
today's
love roller
episode.
coasters. Whoa!
So our trip today, it starts in Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
And as Paul starts in Jerusalem, and it's going to end in Rome. So we go from Jerusalem to Rome.
Rome,
Really,
baby.
Jerusalem to Rome. And so we're going from Jerusalem all the way up to Rome, the capital city of the Roman Empire, a big thing. And so as he starts the trip, Paul was in trouble in Jerusalem. Yeah. Paul didn't want to leave. Paul was telling people about Jesus, and they didn't want to love Jesus. And that got him...
Didn't want to love Jesus?
No. You see, the people who didn't want to love Jesus...
Who doesn't love Jesus?
Well...
That dude is awesome.
He is awesome. So people...
Light of the world.
Yep, light of the world. Bright, shining light.
I know something about that.
Yep. So people who didn't love Jesus wanted to get Paul arrested for no reason other than to get Paul in trouble.
Get him in trouble?
To get him in trouble. But that wasn't enough for these people. You see, they wanted to kill Paul.
Oh.
Just because he told others about Jesus.
Well, they're meanie heads.
They didn't get to hurt Paul, though, because he escaped. And if we look...
That's our Paul.
That's our Paul.
Always finding another scapegoat.
No, not a scapegoat. He escaped.
Oh, I thought you said he had a goat that escaped.
No, he escaped.
Oh, he escaped, not the goat.
Yeah, so here's what happened. In chapter 23, verse 16, it says, "But when the son of Paul's sister heard of this plot, he went into the barracks and told Paul." Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He told him, and that very night, the commander sent Paul out of town.
Later, dude.
Later, dude. And the commander hid Paul in the midst of 470 Roman soldiers.
Wow.
And that's a lot of soldiers to protect just one man, isn't it?
That's a lot of soldiers.
Yeah, and so Paul was going, and he was traveling. He was with these soldiers, and God protected Paul. And so, you see, Sonny, when God calls us to a life with him, he can protect us.
That's right.
Yeah. So Paul now is on his way to Caesarea. And when he arrives...
Caesarea.
Yeah, when he arrives in Caesarea...
That's a fun way to say it. Caesarea.
Yeah.
I love that word. Caesarea.
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 So when he arrives in Caesarea, he has to wait and wait and wait and
wait
some more. Paul waited for 2 long years.
2 long years?
Think about that. Sonny, how old will you be in 2 years?
2 years more?
2 years more. How old will you be?
45.
45. Okay, so Sonny will be 45 in 2 years. Kids, think about that. How long will you be in 2 years? What grade will you be in? What will your life even look like? That can be a really long time to wait. But
That's a huge time to wait.
But Paul, he didn't waste time while he had to wait in Caesarea.
Caesarea.
Yeah, Sonny, do you know what Paul did?
What did he do?
Guess. Just guess for me. You know Paul's story pretty well. What do you think?
Well, I'm guessing first. He ate bacon!
No, he didn't eat bacon.
No?
No bacon.
No bacon.
No bacon.
Okay. Then he must have had, I know. He talked about Jesus.
Yeah, he told people about Jesus. He told governors.
You need Jesus.
And a queen.
And you need Jesus.
All about Jesus.
Because they need Jesus.
When God calls us to a life with him, he gives us a mission to tell others about Jesus.
Jesus!
So Paul had been in Caesarea for 2 years, and finally he got sent to Rome.
Rome, baby.
Now, Rome was there, and like I said, Rome was the capital of the Roman Empire. It could kind of be like Washington, D.C. in the United States is today.
Ooh, where the president lives.
Correct. And so Paul went there, and the soldiers guarding Paul and Paul himself.
Was it a White House?
No, I don't know that, bud. I don't know that, Sonny. So Paul and the soldiers, they boarded a ship.
Ooh, a ship.
Yep, and the ship sailed to the island of Crete.
Of what?
Crete.
Creed?
Crete.
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 With a T?
Crete. Crete.
Crete.
Mm-hmm. And they found safe harbor at that island for winter.
There you go.
This,
Case closed.
But the sailors, you see, they wanted to stay in a different harbor.
Oh.
Paul had spent some time on ships during his missionary journey, and he knew something, though. He knew this ship should not move. And he warned the men, do not leave safe harbor. But do you think they listened to him, Sonny?
I'm guessing no.
No, they didn't. They didn't listen to him, and so they left.
Shame on them.
Yeah, shame on them. They left the safe harbor, and at first it seemed like Paul was wrong.
Paul was wrong?
You see, it was just a gentle breeze from the south. Can you all go? A gentle, nice breeze.
That feels lovely.
But soon, a wind like a strong hurricane came, called the nor'easter, and it swept down from the island. You see this in Acts.
Wait. You mean tell me it got windy?
Got windy.
And people blowing around all over?
All over.
Whoa.
Yeah, Acts chapter 27, verse 14 says, but before very long, a wind of a hurricane force called the nor'easter swept down from the island. That's what that says in Acts chapter 17. And you know what happened? Sonny, do you know what happened?
The ship blew over?
The wind blew the ship out into the open sea in the middle of a terrible storm.
Uh-oh.
It was a crazy storm. Close your eyes and just imagine rain pelting your face, wind blowing, lightning and thunder, and scary winds all going on around you.
Scary winds? I don't like scary winds.
Yeah, and imagine that kind of storm for 2 whole weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
Crazy storm for 2 whole weeks. And the men on the ship, they were terrified.
I'd be terrified, too.
I mean, they thought they were going to die.
Oh, poor guys.
But they weren't going to die. Do you know why?
Because they ate their bacon?
No, not because they ate their bacon, but because Paul prayed. And
That Paul thinks about the craziest things.
Yeah, he prayed to God. And actually, you see what happened in chapter 27, verses 23 through 26. It says this. This is Paul talking. He said, last night an angel of God, to whom I belong and whom I serve, stood beside me and said, do not be afraid, Paul.
Nice.
You must stand trial before Caesar, and God has graciously given you the lives of all those who sail with you. So keep up your courage, men, for I have faith in God that it will happen just as he told me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. God talked to Paul, and he said, you will be okay. And God saved his life, so keep up courage. But nevertheless, our
What?
ship,
What about the ship?
it's going to wreck.
What?
That was wonderful news, right, Sonny?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you think the sailors were happy that Paul said they were going to be shipwrecked?
Probably not.
No, but I don't.
But God has it. God's got the master plan. He's going to take care of them.
Yeah,
It's all part of the plan.
it is, and God did take care of them. They were shipwrecked on the island of Malta. Malta. And why they were there, that's where they were. The ship broke in half, and the waves, and all the men, though, guess what happened? What did the angel say?
What did the angel say?
There was a shipwreck. The ship broke in half. What do you think happened with the men?
They were saved.
They were safe. They got
floated. They floated to the shore.
Everyone survived, just as God promised.
They just lost their boat.
Yeah, God always keeps
I bet.
his
Hey,
promises.
Pastor Ryan.
Yeah?
I bet the captain of the boat or the ship probably wasn't happy he lost his boat.
I can't imagine he was, but I'm sure he was happy that he still had his life because God always keeps his promises.
That's true.
So God kept his word. Of course he did. And after 2 weeks in the storm, they got stuck on a sandbar. And like I said, they landed on the island of Malta.
Malta.
Mm-hmm. The ship broke in half, but all the men were saved. And Paul had an exciting trip. Don't you think so?
Oh, I know so.
Paul's trip was so exciting. He had been arrested, hidden in the middle of an army, spent 2 years
2
in jail,
years. Wow.
spoke to a king, a governor, a queen, and now he had been shipwrecked.
Shipwrecked.
All on his journey from Jerusalem to Rome.
Rome, baby.
Man, it's taken him a long time to get to Rome.
A lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah. And so let's look in chapter 28. We're going to read verse 3 and verse 5. And here's what it says. Paul gathered a pile of brushwood and he put it on the fire. A viper, driven out by the heat, fastened itself to his hand.
Uh-oh.
But Paul shook off the snake off into the fire and suffered no ill effects.
Wait. Are you telling me that a viper,
A viper, yes.
like a snake,
A snake.
got a hold of his hand and nothing happened?
And nothing happened. No ill effects.
Wow.
That is awesome. Paul prayed for many people and God healed them. And even though Paul was shipwrecked because someone else made a mistake of sailing out of the safe harbor when he recommended against it, even though all that happened, he was a prisoner, everything happened, he was bitten by a snake, Paul showed God's love to others. God protected him, he guided him, he directed him, he stayed with him no matter what was going on, no matter whether it was good, bad, or ugly, God was with him and God loved him. Paul obeyed God's call to live life with God.
Talk about a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, and so after 3 months of being on the island, Paul finally sailed to Rome. And when he got there, he lived under arrest in a house.
Oh, was he sleeping?
No.
You said rest.
No, arrest. He was arrested.
He was arrested?
Yeah, he was arrested, and he lived under house arrest. And
Why would he do that?
Well, it was better than living in jail while arrested, I guess.
Oh, true.
And so he was guarded by soldiers while he waited trial, because he was going on trial. The angel had said, right, he needed to go on trial before Caesar.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so Paul couldn't go where he wanted to go, and he couldn't leave town until his trial, and he was kind of stuck there. But that didn't stop Paul from doing God's work.
Teaching about Jesus.
He told people about Jesus, and he wrote letters that became books of the Bible. He wrote the letters to Philippians, to Ephesians, and to Colossians during this time.
Wow.
Yeah, and so Paul understood something that we need to understand.
Eat bacon and it'll keep you out of trouble?
No, that's not what he understood.
Oh.
He understood that when we live a life for God, we always win.
That's right.
Paul wrote about that in the letter to the Romans.
Rome, baby.
Yeah, Romans. And here's what he wrote. I'm going to read it straight here. It's in Romans 8:37. He read, "In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us."
Him being Jesus.
Him being Jesus. And God. Does that mean that nothing sad or scary or crazy or bad will ever happen to us?
Nope.
No, sad and scary things, they happen to everyone. Both the people who live a life with God and those who don't. The difference is God is with us.
It helps us and keeps us from harm, even in the times of trouble.
Even in times of trouble. He guides us and directs us, and he lives life with us as we live life with him.
God is a pretty cool dude.
He never leaves us alone. And that really, Sonny, is today's big God story.
Today we're talking about how God calls us to a life with Him. And I was thinking of a story in my life where it was kind of a funny story, really. One day my grandparents, I was at my grandparents' house and with my cousins, and we were going to go to the creek. And the creek is like a stream of water. And we were trying to find the biggest rocks to throw into the creek, right? And so I was sitting there and I was looking around and I was trying to find the biggest rock I could find. And finally I saw it from a distance. And it looked so cool and it was so big and I was so excited. So I walked over it and I grabbed it. And I've got a hold of it. Well, it was so big I had to really pay attention. So I put it close to my body. And as I started walking, it started falling apart. So I was trying to grab it and it kept falling apart and falling apart. And before I knew it, it was all over. And I realized something. It fell apart and it looked different. And all my cousins looked at me and they were like, "Christian, that's a cow pie." Cow pie is cow poop. I had cow poop all over my shirt. And it was a Sunday day, and we just had Easter Sunday. We were all together for Easter, and I had my Easter best on, and I was all muddy, not really muddy, it was all poop on me, and it was nasty, and I was so upset. See, I was trying to make the best ripple effect possible in the creek. And you know what? That's just like us. When we live for God and we allow God to come into our life and live a life with Him, He can make us become a ripple effect. Anywhere we go, it's like throwing that pebble and you just throw it and it makes a ripple effect. And we have opportunity as we live for God, as we chase after God and we allow Him to use us. We're just like Paul in our story. He had a crazy life roller coaster happen in his life. But you know what? Through it all, he was a ripple effect everywhere he went. And we should do the same. We need to make a ripple effect for Jesus. Hey, don't forget, kids, to check out the discussion questions in the description of the video. We want you to take this opportunity to discuss those questions as a family and really grow deeper with your relationship with Christ.
As always, we want to end our time together by speaking a blessing over your life. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 8 and 9 says this: "He will also keep you firm to the end, so that you will be blameless on the day of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is faithful, who has called you into fellowship with His Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord." May you live in fellowship with Jesus as you walk with Him each day. May you experience God's presence and hear the voice of the Holy Spirit as you answer God's call to live life with Him. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to check out the discussion questions in the description of this video and talk about them with someone you know.